guys, it's Madison. Thanks for joining me in this faithful home. If you're new, welcome to my channel. If you have been here before, thanks for joining me again for another video. And if you are new, I am excited to introduce myself, give you a little bit of backstory about who I am, and then introduce this new series that I am bringing to my channel. So a little bit about me. My name is Madison. I am married to my lovely husband, David. We've been married for 2.5 years now. I am a Christian homemaker. I love crafting and DIY projects, and we are expecting our first child coming in April of 2022. So I decided to start this episode series called the Homebirth Chronicles because I have a midwife and I am planning on having a home birth for this delivery. And so I thought it'd be really fun to make an episode series here on this channel about home births, about midwives, why we chose this, what my more granola, natural, and organic self is, all the buzzwords that come with a more holistic lifestyle. And I thought the Homebirth Chronicles was a good name for it, so I'm really excited to take you in on this series. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so you feel welcomed into this faithful home with me. I am very passionate about what I share here on this channel, and so I hope that you find something good, informative, and maybe entertaining out of it. I am pretty open and honest about my faith, about my beliefs, and about all the things that God has taught me. And so I'm here as an open book to you guys to be an inspiration, to encourage you, and to motivate you. And yeah, I also like to talk a lot, so sit down videos are really good for me to do. I'm not much of a vlogger, though I'm trying to do that. We'll see how that works. I like more planned sit down videos, so hopefully you enjoy that style content. If you want, you can hop on over to Instagram at This Faithful Home and give me a follow over there. I'm posting more updates like every other day or ish, you know, whenever you decide to get online and actually do the things on the internet, on the social media. But you can give me a follow over there and I would really appreciate your support as well. All right, I think that's enough rambling about kind of the overview of who I am and an introduction to this new series. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. If it wasn't obvious, I'm Italian and I talk with my hands. You're welcome. Okay, so like I mentioned, this series is titled The Homebirth Chronicles. And so with the subject of home births and midwives, I do want to make a disclaimer for you guys. I am not a medical professional. In no way should you be seeking my advice alone as solid gold. I have done my research and everything I say is either things that I have researched or opinions that I have formed on my own. Do your own personal research to see what's going to be best for you. I want to give you my opinions, but I don't want to say it's fact. It's a set thing that you have to do. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you what's going to work best for me and my family. Okay, so today we're going to kind of jump into the history of birth and take you on a little bit of a timeline because I want to set the mood for this series. We are going to be talking about midwives and birth and different holistic approaches, setting up birth plans, and the things that I am very passionate about when it comes to a very mild intervention. And so I think it's fitting to start with the history of birth. Birth is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is not new by any means. Women have been giving birth since the beginning of time. God created birth and He created it to be beautiful. Much like birth, midwives aren't a new thing. And in fact, midwives have been around for a very long time, and hospital births are something that are more new age technology. Up until the 20th century, every single child that was born, at least here in the United States, was born at home with the accompany of a midwife or practicing physician inside the comfort of your own home. Episode 2 of this series will go more in depth about what a midwife is. So if you are unfamiliar with what a midwife is, make sure you are checking back for that episode because we are going to talk about their roles in the birthing process and how they are beneficial throughout your entire pregnancy. Something you may not have considered is how common home births really were. Like I mentioned, births up until the 20th century were primarily at home, and it wasn't until about 1930 that you saw this kind of shift into the hospital births, where about 50% were in hospital and 50% were still at home. Something interesting that I found on the CDC's website from a study back in 2008 is that 61% of women who go into the hospital to deliver their child actually end up opting for an epidural or some sort of pain medication, which I find very interesting. That's 2/3 of women choose to have an epidural, which is something that you won't get at a home birth. Another statistic that was very striking to me is that 31% of births at a hospital end up in a C-section. And let me just say that all birth is beautiful, all birth is natural, whether you have an unmedicated vaginal birth, a medicated vaginal birth, a C-section, whatever form of birth it is, you did that. You gave birth. So I'm not downplaying C-sections. What I am downplaying is the fact that hospitals' numbers for C-sections are very high. 31% is almost 1 in 3 women going into the hospital to give birth and ending up having to have a medical procedure done to have the child, which, if you ask me, is strikingly too high because of the reasoning behind why they had to have a C-section in the first place. Not all of it was necessary, and that is something that frustrates me about the hospital system and why I'm choosing to have a home birth. And I could go on many tangents about, and don't worry, we will on later episodes, but this is just a brief history and I'm not gonna get heated up yet. You wanna get me heated up though, the next point, well, there's a ladybug, sorry. Ladybug infestations, guys, are really a pain in my neck right now. You're welcome. If you want to get me fired up though, let's talk about the national average cost for delivering a child in a hospital setting. Here in the US, the national average hospital birth bill is $14,000, with California being on the high end at about $26,000, and states like Delaware, Iowa, Idaho being kind of on that lower end around $9,000 or $10,000. And now that's obviously before you take insurance into effect. Insurance, depending on what type you have, doesn't necessarily cover all of the costs. Some insurances will pay up to about 90%, but the low end being about 25%. So on average, you are still looking at about a $4,000 to $11,000 medical bill to give birth at a hospital. And that's just a vaginal birth. We're talking 31% end up in C-section, and because of that surgery cost, your rates are gonna go up a lot more. Let me just take a deep breath and say that is asinine how much hospitals charge women to have a child. Now, I'm not saying my midwife is free by any means, because she is a professional and I am paying for her service, but that is ridiculous how much hospitals charge to literally facilitate a birth, to intervene a lot more than they should, to put a lot of demands on a woman and have a lot of set guidelines and restrictions. Nope. That's frustrating how high it is. And unless you have really good insurance, you're gonna be required to pay all that back. And you just brought a child into this world, so you obviously have a lot of financial burdens ahead of you. And a lot of it is the business of birth. It's not caring for the mother and the new baby. It's what can I do to make a dollar on this transaction in a hospital. All right, I could probably go on and on my soapbox. Obviously, you can see key points here that I've talked about in the history of birth and how I'm going to pull some of those to bring you other episodes. But if I kept talking, I would go on a long-winded ramble tangent and probably talk for several hours. And I know that you guys probably want this broken up into several episodes instead of sitting here and listening to me talk. Some of you would listen to me talk. You the real MVPs. But we're going to end this video here today. I wanted to just give you a very overview of this new series. Obviously, you can tell I'm super excited and passionate to bring this series to you guys. Like I mentioned earlier, the next episode is going to be talking about the roles of a midwife in the pregnancy and birthing process, and that is going to be a great video for you guys. I think if I add up all the kind of loose end topics that I think I want to discuss in this series, we probably have about 6 or 8 videos that I want to make for you guys, and I really would love the feedback and support you get after each one. Let me know down in the comments below if you are excited for this new series as much as I am. You can tell that I am excited and passionate about this, and I can't wait to continue filming these videos for you guys. If you are here and ready for this series, make sure to give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows to show this video to other people. It's called an algorithm. It's really like lame how the algorithm works sometimes, but basically you guys interacting helps me because YouTube says, hey, more people should see this. And I really do think that more people should see this series. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Comment down below questions, thoughts, comments, feedbacks that you guys have for me for this series. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if you are new to my channel and have not already, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so you feel welcomed into this faithful home with me. Make sure you hop on over to Instagram and give me a follow over there at This Faithful Home. And again, thank you guys so much for your support that you have given me on this channel. I am almost to my goal of 3,000 subscribers, which would be incredible to hit by the new year. So thank you in advance. Until next time. Bye guys!